Thanks for tuning in to Create2Game, where we connect creators and gaming. I'm Moogli, and I'll catch you up on this week's gaming news. So much has happened in the world of Helldivers 2. I don't even know where to begin. To sum it up, last week devs shared that players would need to link their game to a PlayStation Network account if they bought it on Steam. Well, the community immediately took action. First of all, some people who bought the game don't even have access to PSN in their region, so the game would have been useless to them if those changes took effect. But the community stepped up and kind of showed Arrowhead Game Studios who's boss. Steam reviews for Helldivers 2 and other Arrowhead games absolutely tanked after this announcement. A huge loss since most of the games are so highly regarded. Players were also asking for a refund in droves, which honestly I think anyone would do if, you can't play the game. Well, in comes the power of the gaming community. More specifically, the power of PC gamers. First, the head developer apologized, stating the following. Well, I guess it's warranted. Sorry, everyone, for how this all transpired. I hope we can make it up and regain the trust by providing a continued great gaming experience. But that wasn't enough. After that, Arrowhead actually said, you guys are right. You will not need to connect to PSN. But they took it a step further by actually asking players if they could take back their bad reviews now that they listened to what players wanted. Well, good news for everybody who originally bought the game on Steam and now can continue to play. On a different note, Blizzard's Diablo 4 Season 4 update will drop a ton of changes since the game's release. On May 14th, there will be updates to the game's legendary items, adding stronger stats to them. Armor will now have a hard limit on how much it protects against physical damage, so players will generally have a better understanding of how much damage they can take during fights, whereas before it was kind of a guessing. And this is great because although I personally bought the game the day it dropped, I actually didn't play it until just recently, so it's been sitting in my inventory for almost a year pretty much. So I'm excited to see how the new changes come into effect, and I will let you guys know. The next game is simply just a Moogli pick. My partner and I have been playing Switch Sports recently, and let me tell you, it is fun. I felt kind of awkward at first gearing up for some of the stand-up activities, but once I got into the groove, I was getting first place in bowling. Round after round, and they actually have some weird bowling too, where there are weird obstacles in the way and you kind of have to, I don't know, it's like a carnival bowling, but it's really funny. So I definitely recommend it to anybody who wants to do something kind of fun and slightly active. It made me realize that I barely stand up for that long, but I could play for hours on end and it just feels fun. The game was originally released 2 years ago and came after the ever-popular Wii Sports that we all know and love. After getting addicted to playing, I had to look up what other people were saying about the game. Overall, I found pretty mixed reviews. Some people like the original Mii characters better than the Switch Sportsmates designs, but I have to say I personally love the look of the Sportsmates. They're so cute and they come with a decent amount of customization, so you can make your character look really awesome, really adorable, really cool. And if you play online, you can even unlock way more customizations, so that's kind of getting me motivated to play more of the online play. I may just be saying that though because in comparison to other games I've been playing, the Switchmates look super cool. Pokemon Go. But the game overall is also very fun despite what your avatar looks like. I guess that leads into another issue though of why some people don't like this game as much as Wii Sports. If people don't have online play, it's simply not as fun. But I think it's still kind of cool because you are able to play. It's just online play definitely is a lot better because it feels cool going against other people. And you also get the chance to unlock almost unlimited customizations. Next, I want to briefly touch on some of the popular games I've been seeing streamed recently. Dead by Daylight is as popular as ever in the streaming world, not only because it's fun, spooky, and satisfying, but probably also because streamers can play with their community members. So I've been seeing a lot of people playing Dead by Daylight to this day. It's super fun. Honestly, if you want to play, let me know and we can do a streaming day of Dead by Daylight. Another popular game is Baldur's Gate 3, which I've noticed has been holding strong since its release last year. And finally, Minecraft is a game that I think will always be streamed, which is awesome. Before we go, I wanted to share the games that I'm currently playing. Besides Switch Sports, I'm replaying Borderlands 2, I'm desperately trying to finish Bandletale, which I've sunk far too many hours into, and I feel like I haven't progressed at all. And I'm really starting to see a pattern here with a lot of Riot games. I'm also playing some of the Rusty Lake games. If you haven't heard of Rusty Lake, they make really unique puzzle games that have an eerie feel to them. So it's a little spooky, but they're super fun. And if you get stuck, there are so many guides online that are actually very comprehensive. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm also playing Diablo 4 finally, so yay for that. And on mobile, I'm playing the infamous Pokemon Go that I've brought up in almost every one of these episodes so far. And I also recently started playing AFK Journey, which I'm really enjoying. This is not an ad. I am actually really enjoying the game so far. Thanks for tuning in, and that wraps it up for this week's episode of Create2Game. Don't forget to follow me on Valkence Social at Moogli, and you can find me on pretty much every other social media platform at MoogliGames. I always love to hear any of your gaming news, what you think I should talk about next, or just your thoughts on anything related to gaming or content creating, so make sure to reach out. Also, be sure to head to Valkence.com for updates on all of our other podcasts, latest news, and more from the Valkence family. Thanks, and see you next week.